Hi, it's attorney Jamie Miller from Miller& Miller. Right now, we're going to talk about whether or not you can discharge student loans in bankruptcy. And the question is, unfortunately, no. It's really hard to get rid of student loans in bankruptcy. There are rare circumstances that we can get rid of student loans. Student loans are divided into two categories. There's private student loans and there's federal student loans. The private student loans, unfortunately, are not much different than credit cards or personal loans. Very similar. They're often disguised as student loans, but where they really are is just high interest student loan debt. And those type of debts at this time are not dischargeable in bankruptcy. There is some case law that's coming out now that says if we can show that your student loan debt was incurred actually was more than the cost of your education. So let's say you took out $30,000 in private student loan debt, and the cost of your education was only $20,000. New student loan law is telling us that we may be able to get rid of that student loan, that private student loan debt, because we can show that the amount of debt that you took out actually costs more than the cost of your education. It's really rare, but it just gets to the point of the situation that we want to chat with you and look at your specific situation. The other type of student loans are federal student loans, those Fannie Mae or Sallie Mae type of loans, Great Lakes Higher Education. They're federal loans. They're backed by the government. Many of you are in income-based repayment plans and are making those payments, or perhaps you're in a long deferment. But to discharge federal student loans in bankruptcy, we have to be able to show that you don't have the current ability to pay the student loans now, that you don't have the ability in the future to pay those loans in the future, meaning that you can't pay them now, that your circumstances aren't going to change in the future, and that prior to asking these questions, you've made an effort to try to pay the loans. The dischargeability of student loans or federal student loans in bankruptcy really relies on whether you're disabled or not, if you're prevented from working. And again, it's not a clear-cut answer, but it is always good to give us a call so that we can talk about your situation, talk about your private student loans and your federal student loans to give you the best advice on what we're able to do to help you with your student loans.